Yo, what's going on, guys? Versal here. Today we're doing an updated Jurrac Fire King deck profile for the new format after the emergency ban list that we got about a week ago. Um, Not too much has changed for the Jurrac Fire King deck since the ban list, since we weren't playing any of that lock stuff anyway. I think the main difference between before the emergency ban list is since Dimensional Barrier is gone now. That was like one of the positives to playing Fire King, I think, because you didn't care about that card, and that was like the card of the format. And I think since that card's gone, you're gonna see a lot more like of the fusion decks, like Draco Tail, and since the branded structure deck just came out, I think a lot of people will try that as well. So I think you have to respect the fusion decks a little bit more. But other than that, the list didn't change too much. Just up the deck count slightly, just to fit a little more non-engine, and then change the side around a little bit. But before I get into the list, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, definitely do that now. Drop a like, comment, turn on notifications, all that good stuff helps me out. And I'll just get right into the list. This list is 42 cards. I decided to cut the Prosperity just because of how much more popular Droll was getting. And after the ban list, I think Droll will still be pretty popular. I think people might start putting it back in their side decks as opposed to it being in the main deck like it was before, since Mitsuyami was like the main deck everywhere. But I think main decking it might be a little risky now with, like I said, I think Branded and Draco Tail are gonna be a lot more popular now, and it's not very good against those. I think Malice has been creeping its way back in a lot too, and Droll's pretty mediocre against that deck as well. But I'll start off with the Jurrac stuff and the dinos. We got 3 Megalo, 1 Misk, 1 Archosaur, and then 3 Fossil Digs. I tried playing with just the Megalos and the Misk without these. I was trying like Ground Xeno, but I like having more of the just ways into the Jurrac stuff because one, it makes it feel more like a dino deck, and if you don't know me, I'm like the dino guy, so I like having the extra dino cards. But I think when you get access to the Jurrac stuff, that's when this deck really feels like it's on a different level. Like the Fire King stuff is good. It's still like a Fire King deck at the end of the day, but I think the Jurrac layer really takes it up a notch, and these cards just let you get into that more often. The Archosaur hasn't come up a ton for me, but when it does, it's pretty nice when you just have dino cards, and then you can summon this, pop a Megalo, and then the Archosaur can add you Ponix, and then this triggers since the fire was destroyed. So this gets you into your Fire King combos, which is cool. But yeah, I like these cards. It's nice being able to play just more dino stuff, like I said. For the Fire King stuff, got 3 Ponix, 3 Ulcanix, 3 Garunix, 3 Kieran, and the one-ofs got 1 Arvada, 1 of the old Kieran, and 1 of the old Garunix. So these ratios are pretty standard, like you just max out on the good cards, and then this is your monster negate. This one is the brick that you summon off the Ulcanix when it's destroyed, and then the Kieran's what lets you bridge into the Dinosaur cards, because you can dump Misk with this, and then Misk can summon your Archosaur, your Megalo. If you already have a Megalo in hand, you can summon the Archosaur. So it's just a way to get you into the Jurrac cards with your Fire King stuff, and then sometimes this card is just nice in general to be able to get something engraved, even if it's not a Misk. But yeah, these cards are all nice. Seeing the Garunix in hand is really cool, just especially when you're going second. You could just crash a fire and then start popping off in the damage step, so it's really hard to interact with that. And you can just turn like brick hands into just going off just because you drew this and like a fire to crash. So I really like that about this deck. Then you play 3 Kieran, obviously, so you can dodge stuff with this. The turn 0 Kieran pop Megalo is really funny because you can set up a board wipe on your opponent's turn. So when that happens, it's really cool. Then for the Fire King spells, got 3 Sanctuary, 2 Island, and 1 Skyburn. I like this ratio. A lot of people play 2 Skyburn, but I don't love this card, to be honest. I think it's like fine. I'd rather just play the 1 copy and have it be like a searchable card. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people do play 2 of it, but I prefer just 1 personally. Now for the non-engine, like I said, I'm playing 42 now. I decided to cut the prosperity and added another set of non-engine since the deck was pretty light on non-engine. It still doesn't have a ton, but has a little more than it did before. So I've got the 1 called by. This can help play through hand traps, and it's just good to be able to negate like an Arclight or a Murakumo or whatever, 5 mana. It's a lot of stuff that activates in the grave. Then 3 Super Poly. This card might get changed with the new format, but for now it's still been performing well every time I play this deck, so for now I'll leave it in. But I do think that I will eventually probably move this for something else, just because like I said, there's a lot more of the fusion decks now, and Super Poly, unironically enough, isn't that good against like Branded and Draco Tail, so but it's really good against Yummy, and the Arclight is one of the biggest issues for this deck, so whatever replaces this will definitely need to be an out to Arclight. So then the rest is just some hand traps. You got 3 Fua, 3 Ash, and 3 Impulse. So I moved the Ashes from the side to the main just for another non-engine slot. If you negate a Fua going first, you can add this back with Sunlight Wolf, which can be nice. And then this is just another card that hits the fusion decks. And since the Super Poly didn't really do that, I wanted something that was pretty good in that matchup in this slot. So I just put the Ashes into the main, and it's a fire, so it just has synergy with the deck that way. Then Impulse, self-explanatory. This card's insane. So for the extra deck, playing 2 Meteor, 2 Estero for the Jurrac stuff. That's all you need. Then the 1 Garunix rank 8. Links, we got Anima, SP, Sunlight Wolf, Hida, Dark, Princess, Raging Phoenix, Zealantis, then the Super Poly targets. Before had the 3rd Super Poly target instead of the Dark, and the Dark was in the side deck, but the Trozo wasn't really coming up much. Even against the fusion decks, if you did happen to draw the Super Poly game 1, it wasn't really like super impactful, so I decided to just put the Dark in the main deck. So, but yeah, everything else is the same. I think all this stuff comes up. For the side deck, the 1 Ovi and the 1 Doggerin to help you out in the Lunalight matchup, since you're playing Fossil Dig, that essentially gives you 5 copies of Doggerin if you need it. 3 Drolls. This one, I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to keep these or not, but for now I just wanted another card for Mitsu Yummy, so decided to throw this in. Might turn into like another board breaker or something, but for now just have the Drolls in there. 3 Imperm. This is mainly for the fusion decks like Draco Tail and Branded. I think having a card in this slot for those decks, and then it's just like a versatile card in general, so I wanted something for the fusion decks mainly. Then 3 Dark Ruler. This is mainly for the Yummy decks, but it has some application in other decks as well, but I think it's probably the best board breaker in the game right now. Then 1 Duster for back row. Then a few going first cards. So I got the Ring Bali. This card comes up sometimes. It's okay. I don't know if I keep playing it, but when you do get to like kind of play on their turn and like summon your Okanix, pop something, add a card, you can add this, and then it triggers the summon, give you a spell negate, which is pretty cool. Talents and less cards skill drain. Skill drain is crazy. You can just win games on its own sometimes just by flipping this, and then you're just playing a deck that just inherently is just throwing big bodies out all the time, like the Garunix, the Kirins and stuff. So you can just like control the game with your graveyard effects and just summon in a bunch of these guys. And then the skill drain's really hard out for a lot of decks, so I think it's definitely the best going first card in this deck for sure. And it's won games on its own, but that's going to be it for this one. Take care. Peace.